Hi guys, and welcome back to BCM, the Black Consciousness Movement channel. And on this channel, obviously, we talk about the different kind of things. We used to talk about, like, just embracing our culture, our tradition, and embracing feeling comfortable in our own skin, loving our own hair, but also appreciating the fact that our hair is the only hair that you can actually have different styles. Remember the other day it was in an afro, a bola like this. I can actually braid it. So don't allow other people who are jealous because they can do the same style as you to say that, oh no, your hair is not good, it's not beautiful, and so on. Because honestly speaking, our hair, we can do different style that most people or most other races can do. And remember, I said this channel was actually like kind of as in honor of Steve Biko, Franz Fanon, and the big guy, oh my god, one of my favorite guy, Malcolm X. But now it has become the Ibrahim Traore army. So everything we talk about here will be Ibrahim Traore because he's really changing the continent to a different kind of level, honestly. Anyway, so our channel now has also started just really partaking in this movement that's coming on, like sharing about Ibrahim Traore, because this guy is moving the continent to an unexplainable kind of level. Like, oh my god, we are definitely, I actually say that we are a different kind of breed. Okay, like right now we are moving mountains and mountains and mountains. Anyway, so on today's video, we're gonna talk about what one of the US, and this is a problem that I found, when the Western powers want to control our narrative, they actually use black people in their own country to kind of do their dirty works, if I have to say that. And then I'm also gonna share two leaders in Kenya who has obviously opposite views about Ibrahim Traore. And just, I don't know whether you've heard about like, oh my god. I think the thing is, when people are awakening, there's nothing that you can do about it, okay? And like I said, I'm going to repeat it again. We are a different kind of breed. We are not our parents, okay? Our parents didn't have the technology that we have now, so they couldn't do things the way we would do now. So forget about it. This thing of, like, I think in France, they were like having like kind of, I don't know whether demonstration, I can call it demonstration or fake demonstration in that sense, because apparently there was a guy that was caught being, getting money after the demonstration, throwing the, people are hungry, so they can do anything for money, right? Talking about Ibrahim Traore trying to damage his reputation. But like I say, we are awakening. We are not going to take that nonsense again, that narrative that you put on when you want to kill one of our leaders, like you did with all the leaders, Gaddafi, Lumumba, Sankara, and all that. We are not taking that. Anyway, welcome back to the Black Consciousness Movement channel. From me, Jehovah, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment, and share this video, okay? It's free, okay? Okay, today I'm gonna share a video. I feel like this is like people plan, like they have strategic plans that they do in advance to pretend as if like they are asking a question. Because I want you to look at this video. So this white guy is asking a question, and apparently the black guy now is there to do their dirty work of like, to act like, what Traore is doing about the gold thing, like backing up, his their currency and so on is wrong. Remember in the last video, I talked about the Bretton Woods system. Actually, I would have never known about that. It's only because I'm doing a course called Global Political Economy. It's part of my courses as a political science student. So they actually, in that course, we talk about the Bretton Woods system, which was obviously I think it was signed in 1944, I think. I'm not quite, I don't even want to remember it because it's not like it's a good system. So now Traore is actually trying to do something where, the gold is not going out, or whatever raw material they have is not going out. But this is the thing. What they then do is that they will start creating names like, like kind of labeling you. And then in that sense, they can then sanction you, they can sanction your country, they can make sure that other people don't want to do business with you. But I think they tried that with Russia, they didn't succeed. So you know what, we are awakening and God is with us. All I can say is that, guys, pray for this guy, because please stop this jealousy. And that's why I was saying that I was going to share that video about these two leaders in Kenya, who obviously one is saying this about Traore, one is saying that. Let me share that clip quickly.
The new president of Namibia has decided to hit back at Donald Trump sanctions and say that she actually gave all those investors, all those who are mining in that country, 48 hours to leave the country. And when you go back to Namibia and see the amount of resources which are coming from that country, you'll be shocked. So now, if all of us can start learning from other leaders from other regions, Burkina Faso, let's go to Namibia, and then we bring it back home here, we will be able to ensure that there's security in the Great Lake regions. We'll be able to ensure that our water bodies are fully protected. We'll be able to ensure that even the laws that we develop in this house are climate adaptable.
First of all, I am not a fan of coups. I am a firm believer in democracy. I strongly believe that if there were lesser coups in Africa and more transitions by the ballot, Africa will advance better than it is doing through coups and by the power of the bullet. For that reason, I am not a big fan of that particular gentleman. But more importantly, the reason why the military, led by him, took over Burkina Faso is that they insisted that they were...
So can you see? Like, I feel like that, what is he saying? What he's saying about democracy, that's absolute nonsense. This is the problem with our leaders. I feel like our leaders are not really that they don't believe, because when somebody's doing something good in a country, you can see that, oh my God, this is a good thing that they're doing. It's not that our leaders are blind. I feel like our leaders are not blind. I feel like there's a bad competitive spirit, because being competitive is not a bad thing, but it's this thing of like, oh no, if that leader succeed, he's going to be known as the first, African leader to succeed in doing this, and he was how old? And I think that's what they are competing with. They don't realize that Ibrahim Traore is not standing for Burkina Faso alone. He's standing for all Africa, like for the whole continent, to be quite honest. Because remember, what they do is when they kill such a leader, the other leaders become afraid. But when he succeeds, and that's why I'm deliberate when I'm not using the word if. I'm not saying if he succeeds, because he's going to succeed. He is going to succeed. So when he succeeds, other leaders can start following. And remember, we have Niger, we have Mali, we have other, I think Senegal as well. And is it Chad? So we have countries that are following slowly, but they're kind of following in the shadow because, they are skeptic. I'm not talking about Niger and Mali. They are not following in the shadow. In fact, I think Mali started first before Burkina Faso and then Niger or something like that. But I know it wasn't Burkina Faso first. So anyway, we need to support this leader with prayers. Okay, guys? Anyway, we all I can say is that we are coming to, a place where, now we are not believing the nonsense anymore. We are not believing any of the nonsense anymore when it comes to like painting our leaders like, oh no, they are this and this and this. No, we are not taking that nonsense, because even when you look at, I think the Libyans, I think they're regretting, saying that Gaddafi is a dictator and so on. They now know, they are suffering obviously. They now know that, they have the best health system. When you have a family, you could get a house for free. I just couldn't even believe it. It was so, like so good. I'm like, wow, that's what they let go? Seriously? But the thing is, when the enemy comes, they come in the form of like, tactics. So they don't come directly. So you wouldn't know what you are going to lose, right? So that's a problem. So now we have been, we have been around, okay? And when you look at democracy, I think I shared in my last video, is democracy really democratic? Like, seriously? I remember this other guy, and he's my favorite, Dr. Jeffrey. I don't know his last name. But he's one of those people who are sincere when it comes to democracy. Democracy, when you kill leaders that are elected democratically, is that democracy? And then Kenneth Owens mentioned something. Is spreading democracy kind of dropping bombs on innocent civilians? I'm not saying that, okay? I'm not saying that. I'm quoting what Candace Owens say, and I'm gonna post the video here.
It was a slave-owning, genocidal country. When I look at my own country, the United States, it is a semi-democratic, white-dominated, hierarchical, racist society that aims to preserve privilege by the elites. That's how it was formed in 1787. It was a slave-owning, genocidal country, killing Native Americans for a white culture. But amazingly, it still looks that way, although we're much more diverse now than we were. The most violent country in the world in the 19th century, by far, was perhaps the most democratic or second most democratic, and that was Britain. You can be democratic at home and ruthlessly imperial abroad. The most violent country in the world since 1950 has been the United States. It's been by far involved
Jeffrey,
in more,
stop
wait,
now.
in more wars.
Jeffrey, I'm your moderator, and it's enough.
Okay, I'm done.
Tucker Carlson, he has returned to Moscow. Obviously, we know how people reacted when he interviewed Vladimir Putin, because you're not supposed to ever listen to these people in their own words. You have to rely on the mainstream media to tell you who these people are. And around the world, they tell us all the same thing. They're all terrorists and dictators, and everything that we do is perfectly above board. And we're usually just trying to spread democracy. And I think spreading democracy maybe is a code word for dropping bombs on civilians. But I'm not sure.
So what is democracy really? And what is that guy talking about when he's talking about democracy? And I'm so happy that the Namibian president has, oh my God, that woman, I think she's a no-nonsense taker. Like on the 1st of April already, like the visa thing that she put in is like, it's like I know a friend of mine who traveled to Namibia, and obviously she's Namibian, but Namibian Canadian. And yeah, it's already in place, meaning that when a US citizen travels to Namibia, they need a visa. When a Canadian citizen travels to Namibia, they need a visa. That woman is a no-nonsense taker, and I'm so proud to be Namibian. Honestly speaking, I'm so proud that she's doing that, and that she's not taking nonsense, and she has put her foot down that, she closed all the mines that belongs, I think, to foreigners. They've been given, I don't even think she gave them a month, but I'm so proud. So guys, Africa is awakening. So be part of this by sharing, liking, commenting, and please subscribe. And I'm going to leave all the videos that I use down. Follow those people. Honestly speaking. Anyway, from me, Jehovah, bye.
Kelly